Hey y'all, so let's talk about friendships. Let's talk about choosing better friends in 2023 and being better friends in 2023. And stick around because at the end of the video, you might just realize that the toxic friend is you. Don't be offended though, there's definitely room for improvement for all of us. So let's go ahead and get right to it. If you've been feeling like your friendships are no longer serving you, maybe the friendship is one-sided and it only works because you do the work, or maybe you're growing faster than your friend group and you feel like you can fill the friendship fading. Or maybe even you have been maintaining a relationship with someone who you know is not good for you and who constantly displays toxic trait after toxic trait. But if you're honest with yourself, you don't have the courage to walk away from the friendship. Either way, you're in the right place. And I just want to say it's okay. It's okay. I don't know if we talk enough about how much value a friendship can add, or even if we talk enough about the feeling of heartbreak that's accompanied by ending a friendship. Friendship breakups can be even harder than like a romantic breakup. My first tip for choosing better friends this year is stop letting love or desire cloud your judgment. Stop overlooking the problem, stop giving them the benefit of the doubt, and stop turning a blind eye. The reality is that I think a lot of times you know when that person is not a good fit for you. You know when it's not serving you. Sometimes people want a friend just to say they have a friend, and a lot of people obviously seek friendship because they're lonely and they're wanting it to add value, but simply having a person to be around is not equivalent to a friendship. Maybe if more people looked at what a friendship is supposed to look like, take a look at your relationships around you. Are those a reflection of that? Because a friendship is supposed to be full of love, understanding, encouragement, and support. If your friendships and the basis of your conversations are gossip, we got into it about this, she pissed me off, he never shows up on time. If you always have something negative to say about your friend and you can't find some common ground, work it out, and move past it, it's always a problem. It's time to reevaluate some of those things. And I think a lot of you know the people who are no longer supposed to be in your life, but for some reason you're having trouble letting them go. It's time. Their time expired with you, okay? My next tip is a quote. I'll put it on the screen. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Like, pay attention to how they treat people that are not you. Pay attention to how they treat their significant other, their parent, or how they talk about people when they're not around, especially if you've seen them interact with a person one way and then they're speaking of them completely negatively and you're like, wow, I didn't know you felt that way because you were interacting with them this way. Pay attention to those things and don't think, oh, that's their relationship with them, that's not their relationship with me. Because the biggest thing that you need to be looking for in a friend is their character. And I think that we get too far away from that, especially in today's society, because people are picking friends off of the way they look, their status, their popularity, the way that they dress, their hair. Like, girls are literally choosing friends because they think that they're pretty. And it's like, you're wondering why your friendships aren't lasting because there was never any value there. You may not even have anything in common other than you both like to look cute for Instagram. And like, let's leave that where it was at last year. Let's not take that with us. Pay attention to how they treat other people. If you go to a restaurant and that person is rude to the waitress or rude to someone who works in retail at the store that you're shopping at, those are big, major red flags. Like, pay attention to their character, because if they're capable of treating someone else that way, it is only a matter of time before it's your turn to be treated that way. And how many times will you be treated that way? And how many times will you continue to overlook it? So be a little bit more protective and particular about who you allow to be your friend, because not everyone should just be able to earn that title. My next tip for choosing better friends in 2023 will honestly be probably the best one that will get you the furthest, is put yourself first. I think when you have a friend that you might look up to for whatever reason, your friends are people that you feel like for the most part you would do anything for. You want the best for them. You always want to spend your time with them, whatever friendships might look like for you. Put yourself and put your needs first, because I would rather have honestly no friends than to continue to surround myself with people who don't align with me, who are not like-minded, who are constantly negative, who are stagnant, who don't plan on growing. Because I really do believe if they're not adding to you, they are subtracting. And that's something that you probably need to consider when it comes to like evaluating the relationships that deserve a spot in your life. In order to choose good friendships in 2023, you have to believe for yourself that you deserve better than that. A lot of the people that you keep around you are out of comfort. They've been here for this long. That doesn't actually mean that they deserve to be around. They probably never deserved to be around. And you know, you have to really hold yourself to a higher value and know, like, I'm trying to build a tribe here. It needs to be a certain type of person. You wouldn't hire anyone to do a job, so why would you pick anyone to be your friend? I also believe that choosing good friends falls on you again, because you have to trust yourself and be able to make those tough decisions, because like sometimes it is hard to cut people off. Well, yeah, sometimes it is hard to cut people off. Honestly, I would say I'm an expert cutter offer because I'm a Capricorn, you know, like it's just like second nature. But when a person really holds value and they keep showing you that they're not a good fit, but you love them or you care for them, it makes that decision just that much harder. But at the end of the day, I think you should always be choosing yourself. Put your needs first. If you're choosing to not want to stay friends with someone because they don't like to take trips and that's something that's really important to you, honestly, regardless of what anyone thinks, it is your life and you're the one who has to wake up and live it every single day. So if someone does not fit into the category of what you want your life to look like, then you might just consider letting them go for your sake and for their sake. Use your discernment. If you are experiencing a friendship that you know is not good for you, they're always getting you into something, they're never there for you, you feel like you're more invested, you feel like they only call you when they need to emotionally dump on you, and then when you need them, they're never there. But 3 years ago, y'all used to be so close and y'all used to and things used to be, and you remember when. If that's the situation that you're currently in, use your discernment. Trust yourself. If you don't think someone's a good fit for you, it's because they probably aren't. You don't need to stick around and wait to find out how bad it can get. If they're treating you like shit now, you don't need to be like, well, maybe in 6 months they'll treat me less like shit. It's probably going to be the opposite. They're probably growing into a relationship where they treat you like shit. And pay attention to what they don't say, because I think that I really believe that people have mastered, for the most part, the art of manipulation, especially women. And for my ladies that are watching this, I know y'all feel me, because the way that we can communicate with our body language, with our tone in our eyes, and be basically having a silent fight in front of men and they completely oblivious, have no idea. Like, you know when someone is acting funny when they have their little, you know, their nose turned up at you or their tone is different. Pay attention to the things that they don't say. When you give them good news and they're like, oh, I didn't know that you had even started working on that project yet. Instead of being like, congratulations, that's amazing. Or how can we celebrate you? When you have like a secret hater that's a friend, which a lot of times friends will be secret haters, like, get them away from you. No, there's no room for you here. You gotta go. Stay away from people that envy you, people that are trying to compare everything. Especially, I think men do this too. I feel like men are extremely competitive, but women as well are, you know, usually in competition for men or beauty and things that are not that important, you know. But pay attention to people who act funny when you have gotten all done up and you're feeling good about yourself. You know, you got your confidence up and they're like trying to shit on your parade. Like, okay, that's not cool to be bitter and it doesn't make you look any better. When it comes to choosing better friends, honestly, be honest. Look at things for what they are. Don't try to look at the potential and hold on to how things used to be. Know that sometimes, as much as it will hurt, some friendships are only for a season. And some friendships, the purpose that you serve might be over and done with, you know? And although it's tough, not everyone can go with you where you're going, and trying to maintain relationships that no longer serve you is only going to be to your detriment. So continue to choose yourself. I feel like if you lead with that, it will help you make better choices when it comes to all types of friendships, relationships, jobs, all of it. Now, you might be the friend who needs to improve, okay? To be a better friend, you have to be a better you. You have to heal from thinking that everyone is out to get you, from thinking that everything is always someone slugging you or everything is always someone acting funny. Like I said, you have to learn how to use your discernment and just build that trust with yourself that you are a good judge of character and that you make good decisions. And if you're not, that's something that you need to practice, because the problems that you brought into your last friendships, you don't want to bring into new ones. When people say they're searching for friendships, people are looking for someone to hang out with, to lift them up, to do girls' night and girls' days, to do trips with, to confide in when they're having a bad day, to celebrate their wins with, to mourn their losses with. Like, you're looking for someone who will be there with you through potentially multiple different romantic relationships. Like, a friendship is someone that you want to stand the test of time. But I think instead of speaking up a lot of times, people just conform and try to keep the peace. So things that bother you, you keep letting it go. You keep letting it slide. You don't say anything. And in a way, you're really enabling that person who's doing all those negative things to you from growing, because you're too afraid. You don't have the courage to speak up. And I think when it comes to cutting people off in 2023, that's such a big like topic at the beginning of every new year. Like, some people don't know this, their last week knowing me and this and that. And while that's cool, because sometimes it's necessary, okay? Sometimes you really do just have to cut people off and like no looking back. Some people don't have a place in your life but deserve to be let go with grace. And some people are different. But I think if you're having trouble making a decision like that, it is worth having tough conversations and coming to that person. Because if they're your friend, sometimes you might have some people there who are already those good friends who already meet all the criteria, and you just need to work on that relationship. Although you shouldn't have to talk to a friend every single day and you shouldn't have to do certain things, friendships are work. If you're not putting in work into anything, you're not gonna reap the results. It's that simple. A fight should not have to be the end of a friendship. Don't be so afraid of confrontation with someone that you just leave the relationship to die. Show grace, you know, be patient, be empathetic, and put your pride aside when it's necessary and learn, like, this is something that's valuable to me. I was wrong. I could have gone about things differently, and I apologize. Like, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I made some mistakes, and I wasn't at a place where I could hear you. I wasn't at a place where I was able to forgive you. I wasn't here, and this is how I want to move forward. Whatever it may be, whatever your situation may be, some of you need to let go of being so upset and so mad at people. Now, on the other hand, some people leave them where they were at. You let them go for a reason, because I know how y'all like to be trying to decipher messages and be like, oh, that's my sign up. No, some people need to stay where they're at. Some people didn't deserve to make it, and that's okay. That's okay. But when you're searching for new friends and when you're looking to be a better friend, work on yourself, make yourself better, work on your patience and your trust, and figure out what it is that you really want. Just like you have your kind of list, mental list of like what you're looking for in a relationship. I want someone who's funny and optimistic, and they get up and go to the gym, and they like being in nature, and they want a vacation as many times a year as I do, and they want this. Like, when you look for friends, you can look for similar things. You can say like, I want a friend that's gonna be this, this, and this, and it's okay to want those things. I think another great thing to do with finding better friendships in 2023 is surrounding yourself with people who are better than you. I do not want to be the smartest, most creative, most inspirational person in my friend group. Although I think I am one of them, I think it's important to have friends who know more than you, who you can say, hey girl, I don't know anything about this, and I feel like this is your area of expertise. Like, can you help me? Also, don't be like how I have been in the past. Like, I have been that person where I'm like, oh, I really want new friends. I'm so bored. I wish I had someone to hang out with. I wish this, I wish this. And then you never put yourself out. How are you gonna meet all your new friends from the house, babe? Who? No one else is here. You have to get out. Go find friends that are already going to places that you want to go, that are already doing things that you want to do. So that way you're not trying to convince your homegirl who likes to sit at home and read all day and stay away from people to come to a concert with you, and that's not her thing, because that's just going to be a recipe for disappointment and disaster. You can't expect your club homegirl to want to go to church with you in the morning. Although some people can fit all of those roles, don't base your expectations off of one thing. Like, really vet them, get to know them. Ooh, I'm gonna sneeze. That was terrible. I'm sorry, y'all. I am sick and having sneeze attacks in between all of these little scenes. So when it comes to being a better friend, you need to be a better you. And I think something that will help all friendships improve is setting boundaries and having tough conversations. If you are trying to make improvements in your life, this is good. If you're trying to make improvements in your life and there are people who are encouraging you to do the opposite, time to take some space away from them. Like, if you've ever done something completely out of character that you feel like is going to be better for you, and that person has like something shady to say about it, like, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym, and they're like, for real? Now you know. That's not what you need. You need someone who's gonna help you sprinkle a little bit of that delusion. Now, don't get me wrong, it's good to be realistic, you know? And maybe they say, well, okay, in the past it hasn't worked out like you thought it was, so what actions are you gonna take to make things different this year? Like, I'm rooting for you, I really think you could do this, but set yourself up for success by making a plan, setting a schedule, doing this. Like, that's fine for them to have some type of commentary to go alongside of it, but they should be encouraging you. When you tell someone you wanna start going to the gym, they should be rooting for that. When you tell someone, hey, I'm gonna stop drinking, they shouldn't be like, why would you you do that? Do you want a drink? Are you sure? Do you want a shot? Are you sure? No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, because if I am trying my hardest to still be able to spend time around people that I love and engage in fun activity, but set up some boundaries and stay firm on them, you should not be pushing me to give a little bit of wiggle room. Like, that's a red flag also. Your friends should cheer for you when you are moving in the right direction. They should be proud of you. You shouldn't have to second guess, can I share this accomplishment with them? Will they be proud of me? What will their reaction be? Will me sharing this accomplishment with them make them jealous? You should be able to know my friend is going to be proud of me because they care about me and they want the best for me. And likewise, your friends should, I want to say stop, but I guess no one can stop you, but your friends should discourage you from doing things that aren't benefiting you, even if it's not something that you want to hear. I think if I know you are doing something that could potentially be harmful for you, I should be able to have a conversation with you out of love that doesn't, you may not agree with it, you know, we may not see eye to eye. You might be like, okay, girl, well, that's cool that you thought that, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's your business. But I think that you should expect that from your friends. I want, and I have friends that will tell me like, that wasn't you. You should be able to have tough conversations and your friendships still withstand distance and time. I hold my friends to a very high standard. Sometimes you not walking away from the friendship is enabling them because you're a person to learn this. I want this person to get this. Sometimes you have to walk away and give it space, give it room, and also show, not even in a petty way, but I deserve better. I do not want to associate with this. I do not want this to be a part of my life, and I don't want to keep building in this direction. You might have been in that friendship for one purpose only, and it might have been to show them that there's more to life, that being positive really can impact you in the way that you want, or show them that giving up too soon is never the answer. But if you've done that, you've done what you feel like is being a good example, being a good friend, leading them in the right direction, and it hasn't helped, and it's going in one ear and out the other, it's time to stop talking. Because first of all, I value myself way too much, and this person on the other end obviously doesn't value themselves, which is why it's going in one ear and out the other. And like, without sounding cocky or anything, I really think everyone should think this way. Sometimes you have to look at the people, the friendships that you're keeping around you, and realize y'all are not on my level. You don't want to think better. You don't want to be better. You don't want to change your life. You're happy with where you are, and who am I to tell you that you need to be unhappy? If you are happy, then that's cool. But we're not going the same direction. You simply aren't on my level, and that's okay, because maybe at one point we did see things in a similar way, and at one point we did connect on these things. But I've grown, and I want you to do so as well, and you don't seem to be interested in that, and you have to want it for yourself. It doesn't matter how bad I want you to get to this other version of yourself. You have to want that for yourself, and I can't exhaust myself trying to make that come true for you. If someone is stuck always telling their victim story as an excuse, so much so that it becomes their narrative and their reason for justifying why nothing else can get accomplished because something happened to them. Even if the victim story is true, even if all those things did happen and they were that terrible, and you're telling the truth in that, at some point you have to take responsibility for not what happened to you, but for why you stayed in that area for so long. There's a time and a season to, you know, slow down and take a pause after something drastic happens. But people who get stuck there, let me just say this, because I know from having conversations with my friends and reading the comments and stuff from similar conversations that what happens is a lot of time you guys are taking on too much responsibility in the friendship, because you think like, well, if I stop being friends with them now, they need me, or if I stop being friends with them now, then what about this and what about this? They have to want those things for themselves. You cannot fix things for other people, and trauma bonds are not good reasons to stay in friendships. Like, they're just not. You should have an obligation to yourself to avoid that type of friendship, to avoid that type of person, to set up boundaries and potentially have tough conversations, or maybe you need to cut them off. It's not mean to choose yourself. Ever. I can't tell you how many people I've had come to me, friends and stuff, be like, I'm having this situation with my homegirl and I really disagree with everything that she's doing here. For example, is that wrong? No, it's never gonna be wrong to choose you. Even if the other person may not understand it, at the end of the day, put yourself first. Think about what's gonna better you, because you can't be the best version of yourself for them either if you're unhappy with everything that you're receiving from the relationship. Also, think about why. Ask yourself this. If you're a person who thinks it's mean to choose yourself or to potentially cut someone off, ask yourself this, and please respond in the comments, because I would love to know, why do you think doing what's best for you is wrong? Why do you think that? Why do you think that bare minimum friends are what you deserve? Why do you think that having those friendship goals is not something that you can achieve? And why do you keep putting others' needs before yours? And please know that when I'm talking to y'all, a lot of times I'm talking to myself too, because I've definitely had friendships where I feel like I put others' needs before mine, but ultimately, like, that will just result in turmoil because you put their needs before you. You feel you're doing this for the betterment of them and like they need you. But a lot of times they won't even recognize the sacrifice that you are making, but you recognize the sacrifice that you're making. So now you have these feelings of like, well, damn, I did this for them and they're so unappreciative and they don't even realize and this, and you start to have some type of resentment, which might lead to you having some animosity towards them, which just starts leading to tension in the relationship. And it's like things that need to be talked about, and choosing yourself first could avoid a lot of the problems. But ultimately, sometimes you are the example. Sometimes you're the lesson. It doesn't always mean that a cutoff has to end with y'all having beef with each other. I simply see it as choosing myself and respecting my needs by creating a healthy environment. So community is really important. Sisterhood is really important. And having friends can add a ton of value, but don't be in such a rush to feel that need that you just accept anybody for the job. And hopefully you would be that same way with a romantic relationship. You wouldn't just accept anyone just to say you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or a wife. You need them to fill certain, categories for you. You need them to fulfill certain needs for you, and that's okay. But I think to be a better friend, again, you need to be a better you, but also learn to be your own friend first, because building a relationship with yourself will ultimately teach you how to have better relationships with other people. So go on those solo dates, go hang out by yourself, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, damn, there's nobody else here. This is kind of weird. This is kind of quiet. Like, it's okay to have those moments. It's okay to learn. It's okay to change. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to not want to be friends with the same people you have been friends with for 5 years. It's okay to be scared of cutting them off. It's okay to wonder how you're going to do it because, like, dang, well, now she's friends with my family and this, that. Like, making the right choice is not always easy. So make sure when you're going through this journey, you take discernment and courage with you on it, because those are things that you need packed in your bag to get you to the destination. And I think that this conversation is so important right now because it's the beginning of the year. I know a lot of people are going through that, like, new season, cleansing everything around me, including relationships. I think that a lot of times it could be for like petty reasons, but at the end of the day, like if it doesn't serve you, like I said, it doesn't serve you. I hear the friendship debate come up all the time when it comes to like birthdays, like this person didn't wish me a happy birthday, they're not my friend. Or I see a lot of women say like, I don't hang out with other women because women are messy and they're like this. That's why I only hang out with guys because they're not with the drama and they're not this and that. Okay. Or again, like people picking friends because they're pretty. Like, let's get our morals in line, okay? Because this stuff ain't making sense to me. Yes, women are capable of being catty, manipulative, deceiving, all of those things. Like, if you want to harbor and focus on only the negative traits of women, you're going to continue to find only those negative traits in women. You're going to continue to attract only those type of people, but you have to change your outlook, change your mind, realize that you deserve better, prioritize yourself, and start speaking into existence the type of women that you want to be around you. What do you want your tribe to look like? What does your dream best friend group look like? Is it just one person? Like, do you have that person? Can you stand to make some changes to the relationship so that it can continue to blossom and grow? Because if you've been friends with someone for 6, 7, 8 years, sometimes you might need a little refresh to zhuzh it up a little bit, And take your friendship serious, you guys. I think that's the main thing to take away from this is take your friendship serious. Do not allow just anybody to be in your presence, in your company. Remember that it is a privilege to be around you, or at least it should be. And if you don't feel that way, maybe you need to do some improvement on yourself, but don't take friendships lightly. Don't take it for granted. Like, it absolutely breaks my heart when I think about the situation that happened with a young girl who went to Cancun with her friends and she didn't come back from that trip. Those were friendships that were rooted in all the wrong things. Those people did not care about her. And friends are people that you are going to spend the most time around. Those are the people that you're going to grow up with. Those are the people that are going to hold your secrets. Those are the people that are there when your parents and your family aren't, in a way. So who you keep around you is really important. It's really important that you're around people who care about you and who value you and who respect you enough to tell you when something is not a good move for you. And you should respect yourself enough to want those type of friends. If you made it to the end of the video, I'm so happy. And I'm sick, so I feel like I'm about to cry. The last video that I made about doing the vision board, I was talking about how I was getting so close to being at 1,000 subscribers, and now I am almost at 5,000, and it's been like 2 weeks. So that's so awesome. I'm so, stop. Hold on. Okay, I'm not gonna cry for real because I don't want to, but I'm so grateful. Y'all support means so much to me. I'm trying to take deep breaths, but I can't breathe through my nose. I got monetized on my birthday. Best gift I could have ever gotten. Definitely, if you're watching me and you have taken an interest in me and you have seen how the numbers have increased so quickly, this is your sign. Do not give up. Do not give up. Do not let that dream die. It does not matter if it's not coming into fruition how you thought it would. It's all gonna be on God's timing, and keep going. Give him something to bless. I'm so grateful for the community that is being built here. Thank you so much for the support, you guys. And it's gonna be an awesome year. I'm super excited. Let me know what videos you guys wanna see. I love y'all, and I'll meet you in the comments. Mwah. And watch me over until my